Well, the general election is coming up, and we've got quite a few elections, the presidential election next year. And so we're going to talk about voting and making sure you know what you're doing. Joining us today, Lyme attorney Jerry Pitts. And this is kind of an important issue. Everyone gets the right to vote, and you should go vote, but know what you're voting for. Kind of do some homework, right?
That would help tremendously. But what is happening is most people, they don't even think about it or discuss it until about that last week somewhere in November. But there's a lot of things that are happening prior to that time. That's why we need to know, first of all, what the issues are. Secondly, the issues are, to me, far more important than the candidates, because those issues that they put on those books affect you a great deal longer than some of those candidates other than the Supreme Court.
Right.
But we also notice, or should know, that a lot of those issues that we just don't think about until it affects us, then all of a sudden we get to the point we say, oh, what is going on? Because now it's starting to affect me.
Right.
And when all along that issue has been discussed, just like when we had issue 1. Well, that was a very important issue that a lot of people did not even understand.
Right.
Now is also, we're not thinking about that they're also trying to put on the books how, what kind of ID you need to even vote anymore. Now, they've taken away, used to, if you had a telephone bill, light bill, there's at least something to show your resident. Nowadays, you can't do that. What if you don't have a state ID? Now they're also discussing the fact that if you don't vote for a certain period of time, you may be off of the rolls and maybe not allowed to vote at that time. There's these things, that's why people need to be getting on top of everything now.
Right.
We need to be looking.
And we see commercials, and that's not enough, right? I mean, where are places that you can go that you know where you're getting good facts and, you know, trying to do your homework? How do you do that homework?
A good place to go is to read the newspaper. That's a good avenue. Mm-hmm. Another good avenue is that you got Google and everything else that you can check out the history of that candidate, not just for the last couple of years or what they say they voted for. You can get their complete voting history. Mm-hmm. Now, we also, a good place to go is that where we used to go is just around this supper table. But nobody has supper together anymore. Everybody goes to their separate rooms to eat or whatever, and you never get that full discussion.
I think sometimes, though, politics is one of those things where families try not to talk about anymore. You know, I don't want to make, you know, my aunt mad or something like that, so we don't talk about politics.
Well, that's what used to make the interesting conversations back then, where it would almost make you go look for additional information to substantiate who you're going to vote for or not.
Right.
Lots of times we're just not doing that, and we're going to have to concentrate more on our younger folks. And when we were young, we used to have mock elections and stuff of that nature. It just seems as though that just doesn't occur anymore. But how many Martin Luther King movies or speeches we got to do to let people know people actually died for this right to vote, so we need to give it some more concentration.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of the concept that you shouldn't even have to register to vote? If you're an American citizen, it's just automatic.
I would think it could work, but it would be difficult to maintain, because then we're going to turn into what they call that old Chicago voting technique, where everybody's voting 5 times.
Right.
So we got to be careful.
Does not happen at all. Yeah.
We got to be careful of that. But I think anything that would get the public interested, we should pursue.
Mm-hmm. All right. Study and vote. Thanks very much, Jerry, for coming today. All right, don't go away. Medical news is next.